Hi there. In this video I'll be showing you how to remove your provisional cast on. As with the provisional cast on itself, this is an absolutely essential part of the sideways construction and is suitable to use with any of my patterns. What you will need is a double pointed needle, depending on the length of your provisional cast on, or a circular needle, preferably one size smaller than the needles you've been using. And if this is the first time you're doing this, a little bit of patience will also be quite useful. So in this case, we have already worked across our provisional cast on only once. In some of the other patterns, you might have a piece of knitting on this side of your provisional cast on already. Now the whole point of a provisional cast on is that we can insert our needle on the other side and knit in the other direction without having to pick up stitches or sew anything together. Okay, let's have a look at what's going on here. Here is your little chain that you crocheted at the end of your provisional cast on, and underneath each of these chain-like stitches is a stitch that you need to transfer onto a knitting needle. Let me show you how to do that. The trickiest part is to make sure that you pick up the first stitch. You will see that it is slightly different to the other ones, where it's quite clear that there's a stitch to be picked up underneath. This is your second one and your third one. So let's have a look at this first one. You'll see that a loop separated from your little chain is going through there. Okay, so we are going to pick up that little leg caught by that loop first. Then if you pull it apart like this, you will see that the next one you need to collect is the second leg on. You have the little loop coming through here, and we are going to pick up that loop there. Let's look at the third one. Again, we skip the first leg and we pick up the second leg over there. Now you'll see that I have my stitches on the cable of my circular needle. This makes it much easier to pick up these stitches, otherwise you end up with a very tight mess. Okay, just continue along here, picking up the second leg of the stitch in every case. Sorry, I skipped one. There we go. And we're a little way in. Let's see if we can have a closer look at these stitches that we're picking up. You can see here that your yarn is looping from below and behind your provisional cast on yarn and to the front again. We are picking up this second loop. Okay, so let's continue. Again, for ease of working, it's quite important to have your scrap yarn either the same weight or a little bit thinner than the yarn that you are working with. Just makes it easier to see what's going on. It should be quite easy to see the last stitch you need to pick up. If you feel unsure about the number of stitches at all, just stop and count your stitches. Sometimes you can feel a little unsure. Now the next step is to remove the little chain. Just pull it out gently. My white yarn is quite sticky, so... Okay, and here you will see that issue with the first stitch. It's different to the other stitches. Your yarn is actually looped around it. Okay, so in order to continue removing your provisional cast on, you just need to hook that yarn out and pull it through. That has now freed up your first stitch, and then you can simply continue removing your scrap yarn. Depending on the yarn, it will want to stick at times, so just do this very gently until you get to the end. Okay, when you get to the end here, just pull your scrap yarn through and get rid of that. And there you are. You have just completed removing your provisional cast on.